Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book 91. We are giving you guys once again the US Taskforce, where we talk about Married at First Sight. Episode 12 was quite the episode. There was quite a few things that went down. We saw obviously Chris and Paige. Chris talking to his mom, Paige talking to brother, and I think it was his friend as well that she was talking to. We also saw, we saw some unresolved issues coming back around again, but we got some exposure this time around Ryan and Clara. Some of our predictions seem to have come into fruition, so it was interesting to kind of see that happen as well. I know a little bit of Haley and Jacob also happened as well, and then obviously we had Vincent and Brie a little bit. You know, they're cute. They were going on right. You know what I'm saying? They were going on strong. So I'm happy for them. And obviously as well, I think the last couple. Why have they gone out my head? That's all the couples I've mentioned, right? Mm-hmm. That's all the couples, yeah. So yes, so I'm joined by some very great content creators who also speak on Married at First Sight. So I have the honor of hosting them and getting their holistic opinions on as well today. So if you haven't checked us out for the last few weeks, we've been going for the last few weeks quite strong, and we've had some great commentary. So expect more today. But I'm gonna let them introduce themselves before we go into the actual show. I'll start with the people on, I guess it's my left or my right, but it's my left. Jack and Glenn, if you can introduce yourselves and let them know who you are and where they can find you as well.
I'm Jackie.
And I'm her husband, Glenn.
Every day.
Every day. Even here on Resurrection Sunday, everybody having a great Resurrection Sunday. But now we Jack and Glenn. You can find us on Instagram at Jack_Glenn. You can find us on here at YouTube at Jack Glenn. Make sure you subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at Jack_Glenn. I am excited about today because it's a lot to talk about for each and every one of these couples. And I'm happy that we saw part of Paige's family. So I got a lot of comments on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Excited to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you here as well. August Love, talk to us, man.
Hey everybody, I'm Tommy.
I'm Artieka.
And
we're August Love Story. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, our YouTube page at August Love Story. Looking forward to the conversation we're about to have, man. It was a very interesting episode. So, and that's Lily.
Love it. And last but not least, Orange Sunshine. Talk to us, sis.
Yes, Orange Sunshine. I love it. So I am Talisa Ray. You can find me everywhere at Talisa Ray, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. Not that I'm all on all those places, but YouTube, I am here, Talisa Ray as well. I'm excited. It's always a pleasure. Let me not say I'm excited, because it sounds like Glenn's excited about what's all the stuff. I'm all like, okay.
I hear you, Talisa. Let's start strong. We start with Chris and Paige and hit the ground running. We saw obviously Chris talking to his mum, but we saw obviously as well, Paige talking to her friends. I guess we'll tackle Chris talking to his mum first. What was our truest opinions of Chris talking to his mum? What do we think about that particular situation? I'll let Jack and Glenn go because I know they said they had some pointers.
I thought it was interesting talking to his mom that she knew. When she said it, she already knew he was a spoiled brat. She knew when he's not interested. Again, you created a monster. So she was not surprised whatsoever that him and Paige were divorced. Most times you tell your parents I'm getting divorced after about 20-some days. Oh, what happened? So to me, I think she played up for the camera like she didn't know what was going on. I really do believe she knew what was going on between him and Paige. He seemed like one of those guys. He doesn't seem like he holds any water. That he's always, we look at it. He's always talked to his grandma. He always talked to his mom. He always talked to the women in his life. So she knew what was going on between him and Paige, but she played it up like she was surprised. But again, you raised this kid. You raised Chris. So you know what kind of behavior he has. You knew about the baby situation. And she told him, that's probably a good thing because, you are having this baby situation. You are having a baby. And, go ahead and be with, basically she told him, just gave her a blessing, go ahead and be with Mercedes. But I think mom was like, not what I expected. I expected, most moms would be, give you some sound advice, but she's just like, okay, whatever you want, Chris, you can have it. Whatever you want to do, true moms, I ain't saying she's not a true mom, but most moms will give it to you raw. Like, look, you messed up. You did this girl wrong. You shouldn't have did this. This is what you should have did. I still love you, but guess what? You treated her wrong. Not even from a mom perspective, but from a woman's perspective. That was my thing. Was mom didn't even come up as even if it didn't come out as a woman's perspective. Like, you know what? Dang, son, you did that. Even if this was her first time hearing it shocked us when we saw it as a mother. Like, did I raise this? This is what I allow. And I was like, she didn't say nothing. Unless they cut a lot of stuff out, it was weak, man. Mom didn't come at all. She didn't even say, you know what, baby, you know, talk to that girl. What if that was your sister? What if this was me? You know, coming from a woman who is divorced because her and Chris's dad divorced, she didn't even kind of, you know, relate to anything that was going on. I'm like, man, where's the feelings? Where's the emotion? You know, show us something, you know, as a woman or as a mother, that your son is messing this lady girl up. You know, I'm interested to see after she watches the show or what she see on TV, how her son behaved. If she didn't know, how does she feel?
Yeah, I would just say the same thing. I was like really surprised that she didn't get on him more. I mean, but then I also wasn't surprised because it's obvious, like my husband said, you know, he's spoiled, but he opened it by saying, you know, my mom usually gives really good advice and she gave none. She was just like, you talked to Paige? Oh, you haven't? Oh my, as if. Girl, you knew you were talking to that lady. They're not even in the same building. You know, I was just like, I mean, you could tell they had the type of relationship. She can't tell him nothing. She can't tell him nothing. So what was she going to do different there?
Yeah, but you know, most responses is like, okay, oh, you didn't talk to her? Why not? Next question is why? If you didn't know, why not?
She knows why not.
But she knows why not. But at least if you're going to play the game correctly. She couldn't even play the game right.
The whole conversation was just weak. It was just like, let's just talk about it.
Yeah, you know. Hey,
as opposed to the other side.
Okay, I appreciate Jack and Glenn. Thanks. August Love, talk to me, man. What was your thoughts on the conversation between Chris and his March?
I have a family member that is like Chris's mom, where at least one of her sons, no matter what he does, it's okay. Like, he could cheat on his wife, it's okay. You know, that's my son, and she had to have been doing something wrong. So Chris's mom's response being what it was didn't shock me because, like I said, I have a family member that's just like that. Like, no matter what you say, that's her baby. Even though he's over 40, he's still her baby, and her baby can do no wrong in her eyes. I thought that Chris's mom would have at least pretended a little bit, though, to act like she, like, at least have a shock value about it. Like, oh, y'all getting a divorce? Like, it was just like, can you pass me the salt? That's how the conversation went. And I that bothered me because it's just like, you know that you're on camera, and she's been going on these, like, she stopped now, but in the beginning of the season, she was going on these long Twitter tirades about the production value and everything about this show, and we can't believe everything that's going on. And it's like, yeah, like, we know that you guys are not hearing this the first time on camera, that Chris wants to not be with her. So we're not going to pretend like that's the case, but at least if you're going to pretend that you're having this conversation for the first time, give us something where it looks like you're at least trying to play the game, like you guys did. Play the game where it seems like, you know, you're shocked. You can't believe this is happening. What's wrong? She said she was going to be accepting of your baby. But it's just like, I don't know. It's weird. It bothers me. She's bothered me since the beginning, since the whole was he drinking comment. Like, I haven't really heard it for her or seen it for her since then. So I just kind of been done with listening to anything that she has to say.
I personally didn't. I was like, that's on par. I wasn't surprised. I wasn't. You know, I didn't expect it. Like, it's kind of like, what would she say to really dig deep into this conversation? She already know her son. She know that he didn't want to be a part of that from the get-go. He was like, she's ugly in the beginning, so it's like, okay, okay, he didn't like her. Now you got a baby on the way, and you married to this woman. So no, I'm not surprised that you finna get a divorce or anything like that. This food looks good in front of me, so I'm gonna eat this food. But surprised that you getting a divorce so fast? Now, are they paying you for, you make sure you get paid or whatnot, and move on? It's like I don't see what she could have said to help the situation, and her saying anything to say, well, you might need to be with her or anything like that would be falling on deaf ears because he's already made the decision that he didn't want to be with her. So, and she like it took my mom knowing my love for root beer for me to realize moms know their sons. Period. So it's like, yeah, she didn't have like it's no surprise she didn't have anything to say about that. So hey, it is what it is. Did I answer that? Is that cool? That's good.
I hear that. Talisa, what's your thoughts, man? Crystal's out here talking to Marge, and Marge didn't really react to the way I thought she was gonna react. She looked like she was nonchalant.
She was very nonchalant, very uninterested. One thing I want to say is the ladies are absolutely right. The fellas are absolutely right. I have a 25-year-old. I mean, I'm barely 25 myself. I don't know how that happened, but I always tell him, I am a woman before I was ever your mother. So I'm going to tell you the truth, even when it hurts. Now, in front of somebody, I may not say anything, or I may, come to your defense in a different way. But if you're wrong, you're wrong. So I'm going to stay quiet. But understand that your mother is going to get you. Your mother's going to tell you when you're wrong, what's right, because that's not how I raised you. So you automatically know based on their relationship that that's how she raised him. It's not to be accountable, not to respect women in a way, in a healthy manner, right? Or think that you just being honest and rude is okay. Like, there's no way that you could have been sitting there and telling me that you wasn't attracted to this woman and you ain't met her. She ugly. Like, there's no way that I'm going to say, oh, it was the liquor, even though it's possible that it could have been. That's not going to come out my mouth because it's disrespectful to me as a woman, right? So with that being said, he did say, I hope my mama don't say nothing slick. I was like, come through, mama. Where's the slick? Where's the slick talk? Say something slick. Say something sly. Say something crazy. I don't know. Hit him upside the head. I don't know. Do something to make me feel like you value women, Black women at that. Okay. And then I do appreciate that she said, when he said, well, she's mad or she isn't even answering my phone calls or whatever. I could appreciate her saying, well, what did you expect? I mean, you have a baby, you know what I mean? What I can appreciate that one thing, but other than that, it was a major disappointment to see his mother like smacking and uninterested about what was happening with a woman. Like, at least say, son, be accountable for how you feel, right? You owe that. You do understand. Like, if she would have just compounded on, well, what do you expect? You treated her this way. She's not going to call. Be accountable for what your behavior. Be accountable for the way. Like, if she had just said just anything, we probably would see her a little differently. But I just felt like she didn't care, and she knew that this was just for the money anyway. Like, the money and the quote unquote clout that he's gonna get after the show.
I'm hearing that. I appreciate it, Cesar. Obviously, then we had the counterpart. We had Paige get involved in the conversation. She had a conversation with family as well. She said some interesting things in the conversation. Why me was one of the things that I picked up on. She said, why me? And I was like, oh, who else? Jack and Glenn, what was your thoughts on the conversation with Paige and the family there as well?
I was very happy to finally see Paige's family. I was glad to see somebody connected to Paige show up. And I was also, I don't want to say happy, but she said something that we kind of figured. She said she's had them in the loop, but not completely in the loop. So she was like, it's kind of embarrassing, it's going to be painful to actually tell them all of what's going on. So, that's something we talked about. She obviously has not been telling her family and friends what was. So I know it took a lot for her to talk to her brother, especially when her brother was the one up front saying, marriage is a lot, it's going to be hard. He tried to prepare her beforehand, but he could have never prepared her for this. Never, ever could he have prepared her for this. But I felt like her brother could have been a little bit stronger. I felt like he could have been a little bit stronger in his conversation with her, but I don't know. And I think that was his. I thought it was his wife. Yeah,
it was his wife.
That was. I thought she would have come through too. Girl, he did what? No, he didn't. I was looking for that, and I was like, she ain't give me none of that neither. They did hit her with the godly talk, not super deep like like Paige usually does, But he was like, you got to learn the lesson, go through the lesson, and God will have something better for you. Not like her. God put me in this. He was kind of like, yes, sis, no, I think you did this to yourself. But God's got something. He's going. All things work together for the good. He hit her with that,
I mean, the brother seemed like low key for me as a big brother. If this was I had to put myself as being a big brother, and my sister coming to me saying, this dude did this, and this. Not that I'm going after dude, but I'm looking at her like, why are you still there?
Yep.
Right? I'm looking at her like, why? We wasn't raised this way. You know what I'm saying? We don't put up with this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Why are you putting up with this? I understand it's a TV show, whatever. If they're gonna fine you, guess what? We'll get the money together and pay the fine. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they're gonna cost you. If you want out, get out. You know what I'm saying? Which leads me to believe Paige never wanted out. She wanted a relationship. She never wanted it out. She wanted to be married. And so she kept putting it on God, kept putting it on everybody else, till the dude, till he really broke her heart. He like, I'm not coming around no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be there no more. And yet we see, and I think she still will go back eventually. I think before the season over, we might see Paige and Chris together again. But I just think she is not really done with him because, again, they never really severed anything. She's always looking for that relationship, which let me believe she's been in relationships like this before. This ain't the first time that she's been in a relationship like this before, because she's putting up with a lot of stuff for this to be the first one.
For 20 some days in, I was like, when she talking about I lost myself, I devalue myself. I'm like, honey, you only 3 weeks in. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you had to have been through this before because it ain't that much legally binding, Pastor Dwight, according to the state of Georgia, I can perform like. But I don't.
You lost yourself in 21 days.
21 days.
And now, not even 21 days of being with this guy 24/7, right? Y'all wasn't together the whole time. You lost yourself in 21 days where you can hang up the phone, not talk to him. He didn't live with you. You didn't have to interact with him, and you lost yourself. And you didn't have to lose yourself. Okay, the baby situation aside, you guys in a relationship, the way he talked to you, the way he dealt with you, the way he lied to you, the way he told you he bought another woman a car. Like it was a big, just the things that he did in general, and you not step up. Only person we saw Paige get mad with was the production team and on the telephone. You know what I'm saying? She never let him have it. So I guess that's her demeanor that we see on camera. But I think off camera, Paige is somebody different. And I think she has to realize that. I think, if you look at Paige, and I think Paige went through depression. I really do, but I don't think she really lost herself. She knew where she was at. She was embarrassed of anything. If she lost herself, it was more embarrassment.
Good points. Appreciate you, Glenn. Whew, August Love. I mean, it's a lot in it. Paige situation. Would you, Tommy? Do you believe that you would have acted the same way the brother did? Because I don't know. I'm in two minds, right? Because when someone's on their foolishness and you've seen the foolishness over and over again, you just know sometimes not to say anything. You know what I mean? But I don't know. What do you think you would have been doing in that scenario, Tom?
I think I would have did the same thing the brother did. I would have enjoyed my food. I would have had that conversation, and that's all I would have said. No, he took the approach because again, we have to look at what's been going on. You know what I'm saying? What do you expect? Like, if he reacted in a way that we all think brothers should act, this man will get in more trouble than he needs to. It's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to tell his sister because he's holding his sister accountable for her actions. him talking to Chris could end up in a fight. They could be end up going to jail. You know, somebody could seriously end up getting hurt because, of course, brothers always want to protect their sibling. You know, older, younger siblings. The brothers want to be there for their sister, especially. But he responded in a way that I recognize because it's like your siblings don't always make the right decisions. And for me to be a brother, it's like you have to look at the situation and make sure that your situation is going to be fine before you step over into, I'm going to protect my sister. I'm going to do this for my sister. His sister is grown. You know what I'm saying? She has to, I mean, he can't make everything work for her, you know, in her favor every time she messes up something. At some point, she's going to fall on her face. And if she was telling him everything, we obviously know that she hadn't told them anything. The sister-in-law looked completely shocked when she was like, told her about him having a baby. And the brother was just like, eat this food.
He knew.
He was like,
the brother knew, and the sister-in-law was doing all that for TV.
That's
because there's no way that I'm married to you and my sister went and got married and my new brother-in-law has a baby on the way and I haven't told you.
Yeah.
There's no way that that's happened. Like, no way.
Yeah.
Not unless you're my estranged husband. But my husband that I lived in the same house with and go to bed with every night, we've had that conversation. That was just dramatics for TV.
Hey, man, I'm just like, I feel him on the way he responded. Like him telling her, like, hey, you got somebody for you is out there. You needed to experience this because obviously she's done this before.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you need to, like, how many times is he gonna have to go through this before she gets it? You know what I'm saying? So he took the approach, eat his food, listen to what she gotta say. Hey, man, I mean, it sucks. I'm sorry, and you know, somebody's out there for you. So I mean, that's the best he can do.
I kind of look at it like I have two brothers. And my brothers, I used to joke and say that they were the same person, but now that we've gotten older, I can tell that they're two vastly different people with the same thought process a little bit. One of my brothers, the one that I'm the same age as, he would have taken the I'm going to get my gun approach. My older brother, who is more like I'm going to think things through, would have been like, I mean, Artieka, what are you going to do here? Because I can't do anything for you. That's the approach that Paige's brother took, because if I go beat up Chris, what does that solve? You're still married to this fool. I can't change that for you. So the only person that can change that part of the circumstance is you. You need to go and do whatever you got to do to like unravel yourself from all of that. But Paige is going, like she says, she has two therapists. I want to know when during this process did she see said two therapists? Because it wasn't before, and she probably couldn't actually tell her therapist that she was doing a TV show. Like that's probably part of the contractual obligation to not do that. But it's a little weird to say I have two therapists, but I'm still making such terrible decisions. Like somebody has friend, mom. We all have an aunt that we can talk to. Somebody. You could have had a conversation with somebody else to just be like, hey, this is what's going on. I just need a sound person to talk to. Like one of my best friends is that person for me. I can literally call her, have a long drawn out conversation where all she does is listens, and she talks me through that problem, whatever that problem might be. Thankfully, mine aren't as big as Paige's, but she could talk me through the issues that I'm going through in that moment, and we can deal with it and move on. But again, I think that sister-in-law was a TV situation. Like they want me to act shocked and appalled. This is my shocked face. I can't believe he did that. Like that's what she was looking like. It didn't look real. It didn't look natural, especially not with the way that the brother was responding, because he is her actual brother. You are the brother's wife, and not to say that you can't have a deep relationship as a sister-in-law, but it's just like, no, like you playing, like stop playing with her. Don't try to insult our intelligence by making us believe this.
100%. Good points. So Lisa,
So I can appreciate the theatrics because at least there was some emotion, whether it be pretend or not. At least she had some type of like, I mean, because that would be our real reaction if it was the first time we heard it. So I can appreciate her theatrics just because I know that that's how I would react, but probably a little more aggressive. But the brother, you can see that maybe it wasn't the first time he heard it, but you can see that he did get a little tense, like in his body language as she was sharing it, because it's not a thing I want to hear over and over again. That my sister is making dumbass decisions. Excuse me. That my sister is making not so great decisions, and that we've been through this before. However, if we remember when she first announced to her family that she was doing Married at First Sight, he was like, okay, make sure you're in it. You know how you do. If something is wrong, you run off. And I'm saying to myself, we didn't get to see that Paige, because the Paige that he was saying is the Paige that I think all of us would have expected to show up. Like, that's going to be like, oh, I'm out. Not that God put me in this and this is ordained by God. And no. So that I think that there's some kind of disconnect there. So when and it didn't hit me until I was watching him, like maybe she really was just saying all of that to say it so that she can stay in it long. I don't know. I've been trying to get inside the girl's head for as long as I can. But I did like that he shared with her, you know what? You only 20 something. You got your 30s, your 40s, your 50s to find somebody to love you the way that you deserve, for you to have a healthy, happy, successful relationship. I could appreciate that, but he should have been sharing with her, like Artieka said, go see one of them 2 therapists that you have. Go and, see how you can better yourself. Since you lost yourself, as Jack said, in 21 days, why don't you go and see a therapist? Why don't you go and just have a conversation and let it all out? And let them give you some direction, tell you what to do, how to evolve and be the great wife that we all know that she potentially can be, right? I feel like she has all the qualities, are the makings of a great wife. But there are some things, like she keeps saying, I choose me. I learned that I need to choose me. Well, yeah, you absolutely do need to choose you. That's the first thing you should do. But you need to learn how to do that. Are you just talking? Is it just something that someone said to you in a conversation, and so now you're picking up? So I just wanted to go get some help so that she can be everything that she should, like be her best self. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Heavy stuff. Okay, appreciate it, guys. Thank you, Talisa. We also had well, do you know what? I think let me add my 2 cents. I think the Paige and the Chris situation was quite interesting. I think Paige's conversation with the brother, that was in itself was a tough conversation, because I think as a brother, you want to make sure, you want to protect your sister, but at the same time, if they're making silly mistakes that you've told them before, maybe, and expressed this, you kind of don't want to be going through that over and over again with a person. Sometimes you just get to a point, it's like, okay, cool, I hear you. Do you know what I mean? So I did understand his position. Chris's mum's.
Yeah, just like everybody else.
Yeah, man, that for me is scary. I think they've enabled him to a point now. He's a grown ass man, and it's just, train a child up in the way to go, man. He won't depart from it. You know what I mean? That's just basic principles. You know what I mean? So if you treat that child the way it needs to be treated, so that when it grows up, you will see the fruits of that labor. Now, some kids do go wayward. We've all been there. We've rebelled. We've done all things, but to the point where he's leaning the way he's leaning like Tao Pizza, that tells me there wasn't enough straightening from a young age. Do you know what I mean? But hey ho. Next couple I want to talk about obviously is Clara and Ryan. Okay, Clara and Ryan. Okay, because Clara released the Kraken of bars at the very end of the show. They literally waited to the end of the show, just when you think to yourself nothing else can happen on the show, and it was like, let's just throw this in there so that the eyes open at the very end. It was like, yeah, we've been doing everything underneath the sun. He's been getting everything from me, and I'm getting nothing back. Man, Jack and Claire, what are you saying, man?
Ryan's wrong, dog.
Oh my God.
Ryan's dirty, man. You know what? You know what? And I say he's dirty, but guess what? I don't fault him. I'm gonna tell you why. Because she keep doing it. And she keep doing it and not getting anything back and not saying anything and keep being sexually frustrated. That's on her.
Man, I was so hopeful.
That's on her.
That he was doing something for her. They said she's not getting nothing. Nothing, Brian. No. I was.
The $1 million question is though: is she initiating it or is he initiating it? Because I think she might be the one who's initiating this.
He ain't stopping her.
What dude do you know gonna stop her? Ain't nobody gonna stop her, right? Because she's initiating. And so I think this is why I say I think she's initiating, hoping that it gets the penetration. And I think that's why she keeps initiating, thinking, you know what, one of these nights or one of these days, he's actually gonna give in. Well, guess what? If you get him to climax and get to his man, he's done. He's done. And he's like, okay, I got what I want. He just, greedy. And he ain't trying to do her a favor. So at the end of the day, I blame Clara. Ryan should if my thing is he playing with her emotions too on the same side.
Yeah.
If you don't want to give her the penetration, if you don't want to, have sex with her, don't do anything with her until you feel like, you know what, I want to go all the way in.
Yeah.
And so he's playing both sides of the field because he's getting his, not giving hers. And he's like, he's having his cake and eating it too. And she's mad. I do have an issue, and I'd like to know what you guys think. How do y'all feel about her telling the rest of the girls what's going on?
We already knew it was going to happen, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yo, like I'm like in my mind, like, yo, do you do that to your with your girls?
I mean, some females vent. She was venting. She's frustrated. She took the time to get that tantric yoga. She was like, now once we start breathing in each other's face and have our legs wrapped around each other, something get ready to happen. And Ryan was like, I'm uncomfortable. I'm getting a cramp. So I was like, oh my God. It's not working, Clara. It's not working. It didn't work at all. Unlike, like the other show we watched, Ready to Love, they did the little tantric yoga. It kind of stirred up stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan was like, yeah, anyway. That led me to believe, like, Ryan is not, he's just not that into her.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I felt. And she pleasuring him every night, and he's not giving nothing in return. I just like, he's not that into you. I felt bad. I really did. He took the time to go try to be a dog dad, and he took Miska out. You know what I'm saying? That's like they said. He said that's what I'm gonna do.
But if you think about it, he's doing everything he's supposed to do except for the sexual act. And I think she really, again, back to her point, she equates the sexual actual having penetration with love. And so what happens is he's giving her the verb love by showing her everything, and she wants the noun. She wants him to say it. And I think that's the biggest issue in their relationship. And that she wants to love it. She wants to love it. So he ain't trying to get that.
Mm.
For whatever reason it is, he ain't trying to give it up. So
hey, ain't the Osley brothers doing a thing tonight? They got choosy lover. So Ryan is a selfish lover.
I hear you, Jack, again. I hear you. August Love, what are you saying? What's the reason for Ryan's behavior, man? And what's Clara wrong for telling the girls that she ain't getting none?
So one of the things that I noticed when they started taking yoga was that when they got into the first pose,
yep,
Ryan didn't even reach to grab her butt or anything.
Mm-mm.
And I was like, my husband, this one right here.
Mm-hmm.
If I had climbed on top of him,
come on now,
anybody else in the room, he would have at least topped the field.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Camera crew, no camera crew, mama, grandma, anybody in the room.
A real brother.
He would have still touched my butt in the process of doing that. I felt like that was a little awkward to begin with, because even if you're not having sex, you are married to each other. So it is not awkward to at least touch each other in a slightly sexual manner. I guess she got something to say. So even with all of that, and I'm going to also use the words of the brilliant Talisa Ray, Clara needs to stop servicing him. She has been servicing him and she's getting nothing in return, and that is her fault. After maybe time number 3, she should have been done. Like, I give you 3 times, okay, you fooled me once, fooled me twice. Third time, like, why we still being fooled on this same thing? And granted, we're only 20, I think we saw days like 21 through 24, maybe in this episode, somewhere around there. So
we're further than that. We're at like 33.
Oh, we're at 33. I'm sorry, it was 24 days left to decision day, down to 24 days left to decision day. That's what it is. So we're at the 4 to 5 week mark. And with 4 to 5 weeks, you've been doing this on a consistent basis, and you're continuing to do this and not get anything out of it. It's your fault at this point. And then it also feels like the majority of the venting or what she has to say about this is not to the person that she's having the issues with. She's telling the experts, she's telling the girls, she's saying it to the cameras in the confessionals, like to us, but we haven't actually seen her say any of that to Ryan. So I think that she needs to sit down and have that conversation, and it might just be pick a date on the camera, let's figure this, on the calendar and figure this all out, but we got to do something, because at this point it's just, you're frustrated and you're doing things that are making you more frustrated, and you're in control of what you can do to make yourself not frustrated in that regard. Because if you just would stop, you wouldn't at least be frustrated with giving that part of yourself up. Just a little awkward to me.
I hear that.
I thought Ryan is doing what he's supposed to do. As far as like the husband, like he's doing great. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be a better dog dad. Like that's a pivot that he has to make. That's like, this is her dog. I didn't have a dog. I want to be a better dog dad. So I'm gonna take the dog on training. I'm having these conversations with her. I understand how he wants to build this trust with her. And from a man's standpoint, if she's giving it without anything without asking for anything in return, and hey man, I'm gonna take it. I'm a man first. I tell everybody the same thing. I'm a man first, before anything. So if you sitting out here, you're gonna service me, and I told you that I don't want to do it just because I'm trying to build something with you. I don't owe you anything. This is a decision. I'm not holding a gun to your head. I'm not forcing you to do anything. I ain't gonna say you're volunteering. He's probably encouraging it. I would go to as far as to say he's encouraging her to service him, but she's not requiring him to do anything in return. So if she's not requiring it, why am I gonna offer it? I don't volunteer information, but I'm gonna tell you the truth if you ask me a question. So it's the same concept. So Clara going to tell her friends what happened and all that stuff, like it's basically a show of you're only getting yourself frustrated by not stopping. Like if this man is not giving you anything in return, stop. Doing the same thing over and over again is insanity, man. Like just stop and figure it out the way he does it. If he doesn't want to have sex or do anything sexual, let's stop all the sexual activity. Let's just really build the friendship to see what happens. So that was my take on it.
Appreciate it. Talisa.
So I can't agree more. I cannot agree more with all of you. Specifically with Clara needs to just stop. Like, you are causing your own trauma, your own chaos that you're venting. Now, we all vent. If y'all want to pretend like y'all don't be talking to the girls, we be venting, right? We really let it out sometimes. I just feel like she don't know them well enough, but nevertheless, we vent. There's some things that we talk about with some of our close friends that we vent about. And I really wish that one of those women would have said to her, so stop doing it. It's just that simple. Just stop doing it. Another thing that I thought about was the fact that Clara, how she said, I normally don't hold nothing. I normally say whatever's on my mind. But when it comes to this relationship, you're not saying anything. This man has no clue that you're unhappy about servicing him and not getting anything in return. Like, I was like, well, maybe at least, the kitty is getting pet, or something, something, just something, but nothing. So it even made me more sad for her and thought she was even more silly. Like, what are we doing? And why are you moving boxes into his house? Like, you don't even know if he can please you as a woman. And listen, I got a thing. So what are you doing? I'm not understanding, especially if he is, as you guys say, like kind of egging it on. Like, he ain't stopping her. We married. I'm not stopping you, girl. This is good. You're doing good, but nope. I'm going to just turn over now. If that's not the definition of a selfish lover, I don't know what is. He should at least value her enough to be like, oh no, let's not. Right? So I'm your wife, right? So as your wife, no matter 30 days, 20 days, 5 days, the moment I said I do, you should look at me in a different manner. Especially as a believer, you should hold me at a higher regard, right? So for me, you should be like, I value you and your relationship, our relationship. I want it to grow in this manner. Let's not do that. Let's hold off. Let's wait till we're both connected in the same manner. And then that whole tantra thing, listen, I don't understand I just don't understand how he wasn't connected. That whole just laying in the bed with somebody and having and breathing on the side of them, like spooning and having the same like breath pattern is amazing. So you telling me that didn't do nothing? Like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me because I'm all like, I can't even breathe with you in the bed simultaneously without me getting excited because I'm connected. Like, I don't know. But like I said, maybe it's just me.
I hear you on that. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Yeah,
she said something that was key. Maybe, when you come out moving in, maybe that's it. Maybe she doesn't say anything because she don't want him to put her out. She had nowhere to go because she's already moving into the house. Packing up, she's moving in like it's like they already married. And so he's like, okay, if I say something to him and I be me, he'll tell me I got to bounce and I may not have nowhere to go.
Boom.
I hope not.
That makes sense. And you're right about that whole, if I say something, maybe he won't like me because I'm vocal. Because we already know he thinks she talks too much, right? He thinks she talks too much and that her thought process is silly. So you're absolutely right. Maybe so. Boom. We done discovered something. She's scared that she's going to be left. It's all right, girl. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You travel all the time anyway. Somebody will let you sleep on the couch. You be fine. You'll be fine.
Man, yeah. I mean, it's an interesting conundrum, I think, with Ryan and Clara. I don't know. I don't think he's attracted to her. To be honest, I just don't think he's attracted to her. I think everything just leads to point and signs that he's not attracted to her. Like, Christian or no Christian, we've all been there. When you find someone attractive, I mean, this guy has the most amazing self-discipline, and it's a lie because no one has that kind of self-discipline. I've not met one Christian with that kind of self-discipline in their entire life. We don't exist. It doesn't exist. Do you know what I mean? You just don't find her attractive. So nothing's clicking for you. It's not turning you on at all. I thought the tantric or whatever yoga was brilliant. I thought fantastic. She's sitting on top of him now. Some blood flow is gonna start going. That should get your hands moving a little bit. Before he can even go anywhere, he wants to get her off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that for me is a reaction that tells me I just don't think you're interested. Now, he may come out and say, I just wanted to be emotionally connected, but I just think that's absolutely rubbish. Because we are human beings, we have a body that reacts to other bodies. Okay, and he's had, and I think as well the mere fact that whenever they bring up sex, there's an issue. So either that or there's some real major trauma there. I'll leave that in there just in case. Maybe there's some major trauma that he has not disclosed in terms of what he's experienced, maybe sexually or something like that, because the way he's reacting is so off. You know what I mean? So off. But hey, We never know. We never know. But we've got some other couples to talk about. Some another interesting couples. I think we've got Virginia and Eric to talk about, because I think there was some interesting scenes with Eric and Virginia. They had the whole bust up that turned into a little bit of an argument. But just before we go there, audience members, please like the live. It helps with the optics. We appreciate you. Make sure you like the live. Share this with somebody as well, because listen, they're gonna get blessed, man. They're gonna get blessed. So yeah, when talking about Eric and Virginia, I'll reverse the order. So Talisa, I know you're the last person to speak, but I'll reverse it for you. Eric and Virginia, what are we saying about them, man? Because they had a quite a bust up in the conversation. What you saying about Eric and Virginia?
Probably the same thing I've been saying, which is they're pretty much doomed. Like, I don't even know why they're even trying. But it's okay, I suppose. I know that for sure, for me, I know I had a lot of pushback, but I feel like Eric is really an a-hole. He really is very controlling to me. It's almost like at the beginning when he was talking as if, she couldn't talk and touch text at the same time. It was almost like, shut up, I'm talking. And that was the first thing that rubbed me the wrong way. Like, she can touch the dog and listen. I mean, maybe the dog is bringing her comfort while she's listening to your trash about the same thing that you're saying over and over again about what you know about relationships. And then how we know you're going to run. Like, I know the song says she's a runner, she's a track star, but it looks like it's him, because every time you turn around, he's talking about, I could just go, I could leave. I mean, if the dog isn't mine too, then I'm just overwhelmed with the fact that, number one, he wants things his way. It's his way or just forget it. And number two, that he always wants to run. Like, if you're in this, like you say, because we know that you're really just smitten with her, then you're going to deal with all her quirks, because, I mean, all of us can see that she has anxiety for sure. She does this thing with her tongue all the time and her mouth all the time that tells me that she has some type of tick and mental, it's like her comfort thing, part of probably being an alcoholic, but nevertheless, it's still a thing. If you look, she does it all the time. And as much as we want to talk about her, she's actually pretty mature. Right now, I don't agree with a lot of the stuff she does, like leaving him for 30 to 40 minutes at the bar. What are we doing? Why would you do that? You're going to make your situation worse than what it was. I know for sure, for me, if I go to the bar with a man and you leave me by myself for 30 or 40 minutes, you're going to get a text message that says, hope you get an Uber home because I'm leaving. It's major disrespect. And I get that the women's bathrooms, we be having long lines, but not 30, 40 minutes where I can't send you a text message. Now, somebody did say maybe he made that up because he had been drinking too. But I don't think so. She had been gone long enough for him to be like, what's going on? Whether it been 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and not checking in because you're with your husband who wants you to be around. He's already said that I need you to tell me. So checking in, I'm still at the bathroom. I mean, because you get in there and do a lot of things. And I know that that's where people do all of their extracurricular activities. They do that in the bathroom. So maybe, we don't know what other stuff that she does while she's in the bath. So all of that is a possibility. But being that you are married to that man and you know that he has an issue, a little, here I come, babe, is not going to kill you. A little checking in is not going to kill you. I just think, I know I'm missing a lot. I know in my mind, I had a whole list of things that I was going to say, but there's such a mismatch. There's such a mismatch. And if they're going to work, they're going to have to get some therapy individually and together. And it also makes me think about where are the experts? I have not seen the experts since we saw Viviana. Where are the experts? Why are they not helping? Even though they say, we're in the background and we're watching, I need to see it as a viewer. I need to see that you're helping them. I need to see that you have something to say. I need to see you give them some homework to do because you're watching. That's for my own sanity, because I'm over here losing it myself. I cannot be in this. It's giving me I can't be in this relationship, and I'm all in. We write notes and kikiing with the people with our subs and stuff. We're vested. Okay, we've been here since day one. Okay, before you were notified, we were looking at the matchmaking episode. So I need you to tell me that you're helping them. I don't know. It's just y'all know I be all over the place, but I might come back in a little bit. But I'm just saying, like, I just think that okay. Oh, I did think one more thing. She was a little high strung, right? Because she was saying her anxiety and stuff. She was a little high strung. I feel like y'all know how people love their pets. I don't know if y'all got no dogs, but they love them pets like they them babies, and it was very hurtful to him. I mean, for him to keep talking about Rocky in the way, though Rocky need a little help. But I also feel like on top of the high anxiety, it might have been lady time because it just seemed like it was over the top. Like, you know, it seemed like it was like, I know that when I'm emotional, if I don't step away, it seems like it's a lot. People who have that kind of personality, it seems like, I feel like, so on top of him dismissing Rocky, she might have been having a monthly moment. So there's my thoughts.
Appreciate that, Teresa. Thank you. August Love, talk to me, man.
So we're going to start out by saying we have decided that we understand Virginia a little bit more after realized that she went to the same college that we did.
Yep. Go ball.
A little bit of the alcoholism is part of the trajectory of attending that school for 4 years. A little bit of it, not gonna lie. But I noticed one thing about Virginia and Eric in this episode was that when Virginia decided to stand her ground, and the standing her ground that I'm pointing out is specifically when she said, if you say I'm going to leave again, I'm going to punch you in your face.
I loved it.
He did not say it again. He has been trying her and using that as his manipulation tool the entire marriage. Every time she does something that he doesn't want her to do, he says, you know, I'm out. I'm going to leave. I'm done. If this, then I'm done. If this, then I'm leaving. If this, then I'm gone. And she is literally like, you know what? I'm sick of it. Do it again. I'm going to hit you in the face. He's like, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it again. He changed up the words. He basically said, you can leave. But he did change up what he was saying. Now, in regards to their relationship, I do think that Virginia has a little bit of growing to do, and Eric has a lot of calming down that he needs to do, because he is coming across, and I don't think that it's wrong in saying that he's coming across as a know-it-all. He thinks that he is the end-all, be-all expert of everything, marriage and relationships, because he's done it before. You can't change his mind because he has done it before. I think that is a flaw in his logic, obviously, because if you were so great at it, why didn't the last one last? We just have to think about that. And it's not to say that you were so great and compatible, but that's how you're presenting it. Like, my last marriage was perfect, except for she cheated on me. Something's going on. And I'll never blame the person that was cheated on, but you're acting like a know-it-all in this situation, and it's something that is going wrong in this one. And I'm going to say a lot of it is you. It usually is a 50-50 situation, but I'm feeling like a lot more of it is Eric and his gaslighting of Virginia, rather than Virginia just chalking it up to her being a young person. I think that's all I have for the two of them. I can't think of anything else. Sorry, the child keeps hitting the table.
Yeah. I think I like Virginia standing her ground with him. I like Virginia showing some backbone. Eric is controlling. It's almost like I've been saying, man. Eric treats this like he's the expert and she's the novice. He treats her like a child, like he's the daddy. And you got to do what I say because that's it. It's a sense of he knows he makes more money than she does. So it's like, look, I make the money. You got to do what I say. I hate that, you know. And so it's just a crazy dynamic. Virginia was going on her what they call her little
her rant.
Her rant. I don't want to say it's a rant. She's what is the thing called, man, when she's sick and, you know, her anxiety. That's what it was. She had her anxiety up and everything like that. And he wasn't doing anything to understand her anxiety. is what I felt, because it's like with Artieka, it's a time I try to understand what Artieka is going through. And so sometimes I have to be quiet just to hear what she's saying. And I felt like he wasn't listening to her, and because she's telling him what she needs, and he kept bringing up the dog. Like, yeah, Rocky needs some help, but it's not your place to, like, right now it's not the place for you to say, well, I need to train Rocky and and all this, and if I could train Rocky, and then you make the comparison from Rocky and your dog, and you get mad because she's being protective for her dog. Like, what sense does that make? It's like you're talking about her child.
And Rocky is a puppy. Like, we can't act like Rocky is like some old dog that's just biting people for the heck of it. Rocky is probably teasing.
He's playing. Like, if you don't want him to play, like, go to her and say, hey, look, let's do this together. Don't bring up your dog Tex, because you're not talking about Tex. You're talking about Rocky. Don't compare Tex and Rocky, because they're two different dogs. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So you have to deal with them differently. You have to figure out a way, because this dog helped her. This dog helped her through a hard time. She said that. So now you have to figure out a way. How do I implant myself in their relationship? How can I help her and Rocky? You know what I'm saying? How can I be what Rocky was for her? Essentially. So it's he just, for me, I think it's a bad match. In the beginning, I thought it was a good match, but now seeing that they're really getting into some of the issues that's going on, I think they need to, they need help, they need therapy, everything. But it's a listening issue that he has. I'm the king, and you are one of the people that I rule. So, you do what I say, and that's not how a relationship should run. So.
Yeah, the Rocky situation is definitely a trigger for her, and he compared her to Rocky specifically. Like, Rocky acts like you and Tex acts like me, and then after you say that, you go back and say, and Rocky's the problem. So that means you think that I'm the problem. That's what I can deduce from that statement. So if you think that I'm the problem, why are we here?
Yeah.
Why are you always saying you gone? Just leave. Like, it's okay. Like, we have nothing into this marriage except for 4 or 5 weeks at this point. Like, it's okay. It's an experiment. The experiment went wrong. We knew that was a possibility coming into it, because if we look at the track record of Married at First Sight, it's not that many couples that have made it. So at this point, like, cut your losses and just move on. Mm. But trying to control her is like really annoying, and I can see why it can increase her anxiety, because if you're a person who can't just articulate everything that you want to get out in the way that someone else can understand it, that can also weigh on you in that relationship. And then the fact that he thinks that he's smarter than her, because that's what his manipulation is that he thinks he's smarter than her because he's older than her and he's seen more than her. It's definitely like a slap in the face to her. And she's like, no, I'm not dumb. I'm going to tell you something. It ain't going to be what you want to hear. And that's exactly what he got the last episode. But I hope that Virginia can solve her own issues for her anxiety's sake. And I also hope that Eric can figure out that he is part of the problem in most of the situations that he's putting himself in, because this crying about being cheated on thing that he did previously, it's kind of like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you keep saying you've been cheated on in every relationship, but I didn't do anything. You picked wrong people. That's one thing that you did do. So let's own that part of it. But that's all I got.
I hear that. Appreciate that. Jack and Glenn, what's your thoughts, man? What's your thoughts?
I agree with everything everyone else has said. The one thing that I wanted to bring out was when they're having the conversation in the bed, talking about Tex and Rocky, she was like, my anxiety's raising. She was getting upset to the point where she ran out. She left the apartment and she went to talk to the producer, and I was like, there it is. And she told the producer, like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like everything is okay. We had a big blow up argument last night, and we would have never known unless she said it. So I think that's where we're getting to. The manipulation is controlling. He probably was like, don't say nothing about it, or, try to play it off. That's his thing. When when they had the whole little tiff or whatever, and again the 2 times when she was just like had a panic attack, and he's looking like, well, I mean, what happened? I don't understand. Why are you upset? What happened? I'm like, Eric, you egged that girl on talking about her dog and just, cutting her down. Like, wow. He act like he didn't know what had happened. And then, like Artieka said, to flip it, it's always me. Yeah, everybody's always coming down on me. Oh my gosh. I was like, bro, but you started that. You started that whole snowball. You started that snowball. I was just like, wow. And the bathroom thing too, like Talisa said, for real, if you there with your date, your boyfriend, especially your husband, it ain't no way you gonna be missing for no 30-40 minutes. Now, I mean, there is a controlling to that, but you ain't gonna be missing for no 30-40 minutes and the man ain't gonna check on you. Come on. That's only normal. Now, we know he's over the top, but he's gonna check on her. Like, yeah, what the heck was you doing for 30-40 minutes?
Ride a white horse.
Like Talisa said it, my husband said it too. Extracurricular activities. That's the only assumption. But yeah, I felt like Artieka too. She was like, if you tell me to leave one more time or we're done one more time, he tried to flip the words. He was like, I mean, you're always free to go. You don't have to stay. I was like, he's still saying it. He just changed the words. Yeah, but it was upsetting. And I know we all have our thing with Eric, but the other thing that, and I don't know how genuine he was, but she said, I've been used to handling my anxiety, my issues by myself. So to know that somebody is there to however genuine or disingenuine he was, you don't have to go through this by yourself. I think that's the problem too, because she's not used to having someone try to help her through it, whether he did it the right way or not. I mean, he obviously didn't completely do it right here, but I don't know. It's a lot going on there. It's a lot.
I mean, one thing that I noticed too with Eric and Virginia is how when she flipped the script, well, how she was getting the best of him, he played victim.
Mm-hmm.
He played victim by saying, you know what, nothing goes right for me and everything always going wrong. Everything's going to be messed up. So he flipped the script to play victim so she can start take it off of her and put it on himself. Again, manipulation 101. Take the attention off of her and put it on you to make her feel bad for you, and make it seem like it's her fault. Again, she was in a tough place with Rocky. Rocky is her emotional dog. It helps her through her rough time. Got married. You married into this knowing that she liked that dog. She told you everything. Mm-hmm. So what you do is ways that you say it. And not that I think Eric, he tries to do the right thing, but the way that it comes off with strict, with being rude, with being is what's
real
fatherly and what's getting to her. He could say, by the way, Rocky's a young baby, young pup. Let's go train Rocky together. Not that.
Let me help you with
that. Or not that. Oh, I train Tex, and you don't know how to train a dog. No, you have Rocky longer than me. He's a baby. Let's work. Let's use this as a class for us to get closer together. For Rocky get to know me and us to do better. And so he could use it different ways, but instead of pointing out all her faults
through
Rocky. And this is what's interesting to me. Eric tells us that he doesn't drink like that, but yet you at the bar drunk with your wife. So you try to conform to what she wants you to do instead of trying to do your own thing. So now you go into her area, into her playground, and you're getting drunk more than you ever gotten drunk before. And so now you're in this situation that you guys put yourself in. You already know she's friendly. You already know she's bubbly. The bar that she went to, she probably already knew everybody. So guess what? So she went there and she's having a conversation with people. And again, she might have went to the bathroom, lost track of time, talking to a friend, whatever the case may be. I know there's other things that she could have done, but let's make the good example. She lost track of time. She's talking to a friend, whatever the case may be. And but you handle that there, but you can't handle it. Both of y'all drunk. And so now you're going into this argument in this situation, and you wake up the next morning, both of them to me still like they had a hangover.
Yeah,
they were still drunk the next morning. The way they was having a conversation, the way she got too emotional, if she's had all these anxiety issues, baby, go see a therapist. Go take your medication. Make sure that you're on taken care of, so your mental stability is right, so you can continue to marry. But he knows he plays the game because he knows she has abandonment issues. So what he does is he keeps playing. Hey, I'm gonna leave you, and then and he playing it. I'm gonna leave you, and know that she don't want to be alone. Be alone because guess what? You can't talk to Rocky and the cats for so many times because they don't talk back.
Right.
Right? They don't even drink back. You know what I'm saying? So she wants somebody. Think about it. She always out with her friends. She's always hanging with somebody. She's one of those people. She does not like to be alone. She can't stand to be alone, and being alone to her is more detrimental than anything else. So she'll conform, and then when she finally stood up for herself, he just like she backed down. But at the same time, you saw her look in his eye like, these cameras wasn't here. I'll give you a mouthful. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, he back down. So he is that guy. He's going to mentally abuse her and manipulate her to do what he wants her to do. And when she don't, and when he can't do that, because look where he comes from. If we really look at it, they come from two sides of the different tracks. He comes from an upper echelon, conservative type family. She comes from a middle class type family where they were open to everything. So they're two different type of tracks they come from, and he's trying to conform her to what he's used to instead of what she really is.
Okay, I'm hearing that. Some good holistic points up on here. Okay. All right. Okay, so obviously we have two more couples that we're discussing. We have Haley and Jacob, Bree and Vincent. Let's quickly go through Bree and Vincent. I mean, there wasn't much that we saw on them this week anyway. I'm trying to even think what they even showed us. What did they get into? What did Bree and Vincent get into? I even forgot what they got into. Bike riding, £1,000 versus £500 situation. There wasn't much that was happening. August Love, open your mic.
All the dates.
And all the date thing, that was a pet peeve.
Oh, okay. Yes. In the bed. Yes. Yeah. What was our thoughts? I'll let August go first this time. Then August Love, what was your thoughts on Bree and Vincent? What was your thoughts on there? I know it wasn't very much going on, but
no, it wasn't much going on. I enjoyed the bike ride. It reminded me of me and my wife when we went on our bike ride.
Come on now.
I made sure she stayed in front. But no, like the list, that was a solid list. We gave the bucket list. It wasn't a list the dates I want to go on. Like those are bucket list things that he wanted to do. I was like, that's a solid list because I want to do most of the stuff that was on there. So I wrote a list out myself. Other than that, man, like the advice that they were giving as far as like when they all sat down when Vincent sat down with the men, that was cool. When Brianna sat down with the ladies just to listen, it's not a lot to say about them, regardless of anything. You know, it was like I feel like their issues are going to be worked out in a way that they learn to grow with each other. Now, I can't say, they're going to be together forever. I don't know, you know, but what I can say is from on the show, they have really worked at being a good couple. They have been the bright side of the whole show as far as like the couples have been, you know.
It's not difficult to be the bright side though.
Right.
All you have to do is try. And you can be the bright side.
Yeah. But yeah, just like I'm trying to think of what else did they do. I think that's it. Vincent took the dog out and how he interacts because the episode was about the dogs, being the dog husband or daddy, the dog daddy. And like he wasn't used to having a dog, but you know, Cookie, he loves Cookie, and you know, that's his dog for sure. So.
Yeah, I took that list in the bed as a complete joke. Like I thought that it was like him literally rattling off things that he wanted to do. And it was just like, it went on and on and on, but I don't think that that's anything to say that that's what he wants her to pay for or for her to do for him. I definitely thought that it was these are things that I would like for us to be able to do together in the future. So listen to my list. Like I'm gonna throw it out as a joke, but like sometimes those jokes can come like into fruition because like I joked about never having been to Disney at all, and then he took me for my 30th birthday. So it was just like, it's seriously joking, like, let's do these things. I'm not saying you have to fund them, but if we can fund them together, let's go for it. So yeah, I think that they're the bright spot. I'm happy that they are where they are in their relationship, and I hope that they can make it through beyond decision day. But it seems that they have become the couple that is the counseling couple, as Woody and Amani were last season. And that's it.
Apologies. Jack and Glenn, sorry, yes. I know obviously there wasn't much to go on. I was talking and I didn't realise the mic was off. What's your thoughts on Brie and Vincent?
Definitely, they are the bright spot on the show. I love Brianna and Vincent. I thought it was I think he was joking, like Artieka said, he was joking but a little bit serious too with the list he rattled off. So I think he was like, I do want to do these things. He's like, well, while I'm at it, I might as well say this one too, and say this too, and say this too. Because he went the gamut of stuff to the point where my husband was like, well, dog, he must be new to the United States. He haven't done nothing. He haven't been to the zoo. He hasn't been to the aquarium. Where have you been? Where have you been? The one part that I was like, oh, that's funny. And she was like, well, who's gonna pay for all this? Who's gonna fund this? And he was like, my sugar mama. That was a little joke, ha ha ha, between them. I thought the bike ride with them was cute. They made a bet. If I win, you have to do the dishes for a week. If you win, I'll do push-ups. And in the end, of course, unlike my husband, he let her win.
I'm competitive. I'm sorry.
He would not have let me win. He probably would have let me get a head start, but he definitely would not have let me win still. But on the bright side, Brianna's like, well, I won, but I'm gonna still do the push-ups. And she only did 5. I was like, but honey, can we do it when we get back to the apartment? Like, I don't want to do it on the sidewalk. Well, I got to do the push-ups on the sidewalk.
I don't know why she was doing that, yeah.
I know, I'm like, we can do that. You go wash the dishes at home. I'll do the push-ups. at home. But, yeah, I thought they were really cute.
Vinny was serious when he said, well, how about my boat ride? Yo. I'm gonna be honest.
That part.
I actually grew up. Mean what you say what you mean, right? He was like, okay, I did all this because we saw Vinny laying out the red carpet for Brianna in the anniversary. And in his mind, was like, I laid out this, I did all this. What do I get in return? With my boat ride, I want something too. Can you give me something? And it might have been a little jokey joke behind it, but there's always truth to something, everything that you say. There's always truth to what you say. So. We may put a joke behind and laugh, but you really mean that. And, those things that he wanted to do seem to me like tourist things they hadn't got done, things they didn't do. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of the things that got with me that, and it was good to see them laying in the bed having conversation. That's how you build relationships. Talking about earlier about spooning and all that other stuff and being close together. But that builds a relationship where you can just lay in bed and talk and have conversations. That's a good relationship there. So they have a good time with that. And my wife jokes about me like, I'm just competitive, y'all. You say let's race, I'm a race. You say let's go here. I don't let my 7-year-old when I take that toe neither. So you gonna beat me. But nah, I'm all jokes aside. But I do like this couple. I think they're growing. But I do think Vincent has one more blow up. I think it's gonna come. I think she's gonna say something, or he's gonna say something that's gonna make him go off a little bit, because I don't think they ever fixed that issue. I think they covered it up, but I don't think they fixed it. But I do like this couple right now, and I do think they're gonna work. But they will work there. They're newly married. We said it. They're 30-some days in. There's gonna be some issues. Everything ain't gonna be hunky dory. Everything ain't gonna be perfect. There's gonna be some high moments and low moments. It is what it is.
Yeah. Love that. Talisa.
So I'm just going to join Glenn in the unpopular opinion that there is truth in jest. That rattling off he did about all those dates that he wanted, he meant. Like he felt like he really did something with the stationary boat dinner that they put together on Married at First Sight. They gave you a stipend for that, sir. Like now you want her to go and spend her good hard-earned money on taking you on all the excursions everywhere. Not only that, did she ask you where you wanted to go as in a date? Like not where you want to go on trips. Like don't tell me there's some truth in just like, listen, sir, give me one or two things. I'm gonna do it. But don't think that you did this one thing for me that was paid for by the show and I'm gonna do all of these things. I might make the most money because I'm an engineer, right? But don't do that. Please don't do that. I'm gonna be very like, I'm never taking you anywhere but to walks and sunsets. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have picnics outside, which are great, but I'm not gonna spend my hard-earned money until I see you. You know, I'm petty. Y'all know I wear a cape. I told you I'm prophetess petty, and so I would probably be like, oh yeah, that's what you want to do. You better go on Groupon and find one. You bet. Like I don't know. I'm super petty, and I didn't like the feel of it. Though he was saying, you know, I'm joking. He was serious. Like there, he was like, I want you to do these things for me because I'm your man, right? And it was uncomfortable because I'm all for treating my mate, my boo, my spouse. I don't mind. I love it. You know what I'm saying? It is part of who I am. I want you to feel good like I do. I want to show my appreciation, but please don't rattle off 25 things and tell me that I have to do all 25 things because that's what you want to do to your one, sir. No, thank you. No, sir, no, ma'am, no, thank you. No, I'm out.
I hear that. Interesting stuff. Yep, I hear that still. I know Vinny. I mean, I think I definitely agree that I think Vinny definitely was, slyly just trying to just lodge the seed in her mind. You know what I mean? Just like, yeah, he wanted to be taken out some places. So, you know, I definitely believe that you say some things jokingly, but you really you kind of behind the scenes mean it. Like, do you know what I mean? You're hoping a person will take it on. I just hope that he will be okay with her taking on that role, because the last one we did, we went to dancing and the shirt was too tight and then we had problems. So I want there to be another thing that she does for you, but you got to make sure, bro, don't shut it down. You know what I'm saying? Don't shut it down. Just go flow with it. It doesn't go the way you want it to go, you still flow with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Last couple. We got Haley and we got Jacob in this particular episode. Again, I don't know what they speak about. I know they spoke about some things. She called him out for being for the night before, whatever, about the way he blew up. I personally didn't think he blew up. I think he just made sure he corrected her and made sure, listen, hey, if you keep playing, there's only 4 more weeks or whatever to the end of the thing. You don't have to see me again, just to let you know. So if that's what you're wanting, you can get it. I actually like Jacob, but I think he sets her straight. I think he calls out Haley's rubbish all the time. You know, and she plays a very good Karen role. Very, very good. But that's my sentiments. So let me go Jack and Glenn. Jack and Glenn, what's your thoughts with particular Haley and Jacob? What's your thoughts?
I like Jacob. I agree with you. I like Jacob. I think Jacob is honest. He doesn't hold anything back because, again, his biological clock is ticking. You know, he's 38 years old. He wants to have a family. He wants somebody to be at the beach with at his house. And he wants to be able. And so with him being honest, I just think his timing is off for what a lot of things that he does. I think him and Haley, they both checked out. They're just going through the motions right now. Even at the pumpkin patch, you can tell they're just going through the motions. It's fall time. You know, you at the pumpkin patch, you can hang out, you can walk, hold hand to hand, and if you see him walking, it's like he's over here, she's over there. You might even think they're like brother and sister more so than husband and wife. But she is just totally done. So even all these trips that Married at First Sight set up for them and they go on, it's not helping their relationship. It's not helping them any. It's just good for TV. And I think Jake is done. He's been done for a while. Probably does. I think when she told him she wasn't physically attracted to him for the second, the third, fourth time. He was like, yo, I'm done.
And discuss the side when they hug.
Yeah, and discuss the side when they hug. So she's like, yo, again, she can't even do the simple things. Sleep in the bedroom with him, give him a kiss on the cheek in the morning. It didn't say give him a lips.
Yeah,
it just said give him a kiss. She can't even give him a peck on the cheek, or can give him a hug. I'm sorry, what dude would stay around like that for that? oh my bad, maybe even Ryan don't even stay around for that, right? Ryan's not even staying for that. So, you know what I'm saying? And he's probably hearing Ryan's story like, hey, yo, my wife, you getting service and you ain't doing nothing back. I'm trying, I can't get nothing. I can't get a hug. I can't get a peck. I can't get nothing. You know, so but I like Jake. Haley is, she just riding her time out. That's it. You know, one thing I did laugh at when she fixed dinner, they had dinner. You know, dude had a whole bunch of protein on that plate.
It was a whole lot of steak.
It was a whole. And I understand.
Gosh.
I work out. I understand about working out. I understand about protein. And he might be on keto. He probably getting ready to go to ketosis. You know what I'm saying? With all the meat that's on, all the meat on that plate. Dude, you know what I'm saying? But he had no vegetables. She's like, can you try my, what was it, Brussels sprouts?
Yeah, it was Brussels sprouts.
You try some Brussels sprouts? That dude probably ain't seen a vegetable in like 3 years.
Well, he didn't have any eggs on the plate.
He didn't have no eggs.
That was
enough protein in the meat. You know, but nah, I think they're a couple that they're just biding their time, and the show's making them do things just to do it. So
yeah. The only thing I want to add, I see somebody said it in the comments. I was just like, you know, I think Jacob has himself together. He may be a little bit boring. You know, the 80s thing is throwing, but I'm just like, Haley, that man got muscles. He got biceps. He got triceps. He got pecs. Come on, girl. You can like that a little bit. Let him kiss you on the cheek. It ain't going, your face is not going to melt off. I promise you it won't. You know, I like when they went to the pumpkin patch, like Artieka was saying, Brianna and Vincent are kind of like the advice couple. You know, Brianna was like, well, maybe let me talk to him. Let me see if I can pull something out of him. Because Haley, and they showed a clip, Haley was like, you know, I talked to him. I tell him what's going on with me. But, you know, it's like the conversation goes nowhere. And Brianna was like, well, let me try. Let me try to get something out of him. So I like that Brianna tried that. And Brianna and Vincent are both giving each of them the same advice. And basically, Brianna's like, I can't tell them you need to try harder, but they need to try harder. They need to work on better communication. I think if they could communicate with each other, and Haley just trying to be like, I just want to have fun. Let's have more fun and light days. Let's go out. But we also have to talk too, so you can get to know me. And so we can see what we, you know, might like about each other. So yeah, trying, not trying. I really don't care for the matchup of the two of them. But I like Jacob. I don't really like Haley myself, you know. Yeah, she's playing a good Karen.
I'm with you on that. August Love, what's you guys' thoughts?
Bella, we saw your super chat, and she's coughing through this Haley and Jacob talk, so I'm going to say she says that there are no.
No ways. Someone even put a thing here. Ask the baby who she thinks will stay together. I love that.
Yeah, she has strong feelings, apparently. I have not thought that Haley was giving anything in quite a while. I also don't think that I think that Jacob has checked out of this. I think that he was trying. He just couldn't try in a way that Haley could understand. And something that he mentioned on the Unfiltered episode, I can't remember if it was the one before this week's episode or the one before the week before's episode, but he said it's kind of hard to try with a person who tells you they want everything to be light and friendly and they don't want anything heavy. How do we try at a marriage if we don't get into the heavy things? So I feel like Haley has been using her I'm trying as a cop-out throughout the entire relationship. And it's just her way of saying that she's doing what she needs to do to get to whatever result she thinks is going to happen. And we know that that result is going to be that they're going to get divorced. I think that, and it's kind of hard to compare Jacob's try to Haley's try because Haley's try is non-existent. I think that we just see that Haley doesn't understand Jacob and is not giving an effort to understand Jacob. So that makes him not want to try at all because there is no effort being given on her point. On this week's episode, they did the go-kart, and I saw some people in our comments were saying that he seemed like he was upset. I was like, he's checked out of this relationship. He don't care about her winning this go-kart. Like, that don't mean anything to him. And then the thing with the sunflowers, when they went out to go pick sunflowers, it was literally like he was talking to Vincent, and I don't even think they mentioned the relationship at all in the conversation that we saw of them, because he doesn't care anymore. It's just, I've already told her in 4 weeks she doesn't ever have to see me again, and I meant that. So I mean it. Like, why are we pretending like anything is going to work out in between us? And then when they flipped it and had Bree talk to him, it was just the same thing. She doesn't understand me. He's committed to understanding, like to ingesting that she's not going to understand him. So he's just not going to try to force himself, because at this point, why are you forcing yourself? You're 4 weeks into this. If a person can't even have a sensible conversation with you, why are you doing it? It just, you buy out your time. I'm contractually obligated to do this. I'm here so I don't get fined. And at the end of it, I'm going to go home to my dogs, and hopefully some nice girl will see me on this show and want to date me. That's what I feel Jacob is doing. And I think that Haley is just going to be committed to being alone because she doesn't try. But that was her words, not mine. She said in her pre-interview questionnaire that when things take a turn that she doesn't like, she leaves, she bounces. That says I'm not trying. So you're committed to being alone if that's the narrative that you're going to take. What you got?
I don't know. They went go-kart racing, and I feel like Jacob was bothered by the fact that Haley was that competitive about the go-kart racing. I don't think they have a shot at this at all. I think Jacob and Haley are just going through the motions at this point. You know, it's not a lot to say about them, because it's sad that, you know, Haley's try and Jacob's try was two different things. And, you know, I don't really have much to say. Jacob's plate was really meat heavy, which was, I was like, wow. Like, bro, you can't want that much meat on your plate. It's, like, you just possibly can't. But I don't know, man. Like, it's just, it's hard. It's not hard watching them now. It's just, they don't get each other. They're not trying to get each other, and they're just waiting to the end of the show. I don't think it's going to be a lot of suspense from now until the end of the show. I don't think, like, even when they get to the point of the decision date, I don't think it's going to be a lot of suspense and them talking about what went wrong. And it's like, hey, we just don't want to do this. It didn't work out. Let's move forward. So that's my thoughts.
Appreciate that. Talisa.
So, a couple of things. One is when Brianna was talking to Jacob, and she lied to him and said, she used to find you physically attractive.
Oh,
I
was like,
why would you lie?
Yes.
Why would you lie? Like, what was the point in the lie? He knows she's not attracted to him. He knows she has never been attracted to him. Like, why would you do that, Brianna? Now, anything you say after this is all a lie. I'm not even listening to anything you say because you just lied to me. The only other thing I thought about was at the end when they brought the flowers and they were at the pumpkin patch or whatever, and they said, oh, we could put a pumpkin on our head and you push the cart or whatever, you know, get in the cart and push it. And they were just joking around, but Haley looked at him like, what? Why would you do that? What? And the look she gave to me felt like, why were we matched? I'm not understanding why we were matched. But Glenn said something that, or was it you, Coach, that said something? I don't know. One of you said he gets her together, right? That he tells her the truth, and that's what she needs. That might be the thing, that the reason, like they probably thought, you know what, she needs a reality check and he's going to give it. I couldn't figure out why they were together. Haley, I hope you're watching, because that's why you're together, so that somebody could tell you the truth and stop sugarcoating stuff. Even though Lauren doesn't sugarcoat much of anything for you, I think that's what it is. People have been kind of coddling you and letting you just do whatever, and he's not going to do that. I think that's all. That's all I have on them. They're not gonna make it. It's okay. I like Jacob though. I like Jacob a lot. I mean, I wouldn't date him, but I like him. I would introduce him to somebody for sure. Somebody I got at work or something. One of them people, one of them doves I got at work would love him. Like what? Yes.
Mm-hmm. I'm hearing that. I was thinking the same thing when you said it to Lisa. I was saying the same thing. I saw that, and she said to him that she found it attractive, that that Haley found you attractive. I was like, wait, when? When did she say those lines? I was like, Bree, I don't think you know much about what's happening between them two, because listen, he's heard it enough time that she's not attracted. So, you saying that line there, like you said, it's gonna make you look like you're not a trusted source right now, because like there's no way that Haley's telling Bree that she finds him attractive, and then finding out he's been having the whole entire. That's been his whole fight. His whole fight has been that she doesn't find me attractive, and you're telling me she finds me attractive? What? Yeah, I thought that was a bit of a misdemeanor. That one, that was cheeky. That was. So I was like, yeah. But yeah, guys, we've reached the end. We've reached the end of all our couples. I guess I want to get you guys rounding up final thoughts, and then we'll close the curtains on the show. Jack and Glenn, if I let you go first, close the curtains with your closing statements.
Yeah, man. I think it was good that we didn't see much of Chris and Paige. We saw a lot more other couples. I think that's a good thing. I think it's going to continue that way. I think you said something that was key. Brianna is definitely not a good source right now. Dude already knows that Haley doesn't like him. Virginia and Eric, I think they both need counseling. If they do stay together, they need to go visit one of Paige's 2 therapists. And see if they can get some help, or maybe a 2-for-1 deal there. But no, Virginia needs some help. I mean, she needs some help not only with the anxiety, she needs some help with the drinking. I think the drinking is the reason, or the anxiety is the reason that she does drink, and the way that she finds escape is through drinking. I think Eric needs to get some help there and stop comparing his marriage, knowing all in marriage, because again, you already had an unsuccessful marriage. This girl is different, and because you're older than her doesn't mean you know everything. I think that's going to be the downfall of their marriage. Clara, we all said it. She needs to stop servicing Ryan and stop giving Ryan the good. But then again, she may like servicing, and that may be something that she likes to do. So it is, but if you can't get mad if you service and he ain't service you back, and you didn't say anything to him, because if you don't say anything, it means he may not know that you wants to be serviced back. So she has to do that. Ryan needs to go ahead and tell her that he's not attracted to her and that he wants her to move out. And then with the final couple, Bree and Vincent, I think they're doing well right now. Anything that's better than argument, baby drama, sex drama, not attracted drama, we're gonna like, oh, that's a good couple. But they still have some of their issues as well. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to Jack and Glenn. Make sure if you haven't found us yet, please do find us. We drop a new Married at First Sight video every Thursday, so check that out, and also subscribe to everyone else. Again, we appreciate being here and enjoy talking Married at First Sight.
Yeah,
love that, Jack and Glenn. August Love, give us your final curtain closers.
All right, I got nothing for Jacob and Haley. I got nothing for Paige and Chris. Brianna and Vincent, I think that, of course, they'll be the one couple that we end up seeing in the future. They'll be the ones that, are trying to get the ad deals and all those things. Ryan and Clara, I think that Clara definitely has to stop her service of Ryan, and Ryan is just going to have to be upfront. It's not just that that Ryan wants to get to know her, because if he wanted to just get to know her and there was no sex involved, there wouldn't be oral sex involved. So we just have to stop with that narrative about sex. What is the other couple? Virginia and Eric. I think that they'll end up gaslighting their way beyond decision day, and then they'll slowly combust, because he's going to say something to her crazy after the cameras are gone, and she's just not going to have it, and that'll be the ending of it. Was that all the couples? I think that was all of them. Please subscribe to everybody's channels. Make sure you guys check out our podcast. We have a podcast that at this point it looks like it's coming out every other Wednesday instead of every Wednesday. But definitely we have been talking about cheating and being cheated on. We did a take on Derek Jackson and his wife, not necessarily the full context of him cheating this week on our podcast, but the episode that comes out Wednesday is going to be about the person that has been cheated on and the misconceptions about them. So definitely check that out if you guys have not already listened to our podcast. It's pretty much everywhere that you can listen to podcasts: Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We do the visual episodes on YouTube every week, and hopefully, prayerfully, I will get my life together, and all of these lovely people that are here today will also be on our podcast at some point this year. I just have to get my life together. It's me. I'm the problem. You got anything?
No, what she said.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it, Artieka.
Go for it, Talisa. Closing statement.
I'm here for it because I'm getting my life together with you. So when you get it together, I think we'll all be ready. The only thing I'm going to say is I echo everybody's sentiments. I'm looking forward to see like the mid check-in, which is really weird that it's now. I feel like it should have been maybe last week, but I'm looking forward to see the experts show up and talk to them. And then I just want everyone to be accountable for themselves and their actions, and I mean every last one of them like should hold some accountability into how they feel and what they say, and to be able to articulate it to their spouse. To me, that's really important. That's all I have to say, except for you should be clicking the subscribe button on all of our channels. You can start with me though, okay? I mean, you're here, so go ahead. If you haven't done it here, then you should do it. But you can start with mine and be a ray of sunshine. You could be part of my family because we dope over there. You know, over here, I'm very much so reserved and in the box as respectful for Kojo's channel. But on my channel, I be kind of lit. I love the Lord, but I be lit. So come on over and hit that subscribe button, the like button, the notification bell here. Do not forget my family because they are now my family. Listen, I think that's it. That's it for me.
Appreciate that. Love that. Thank you so much, guys, for that. It was a good holistic conversation once more, and we got some good points as well. So audience members, if you loved what we're doing, as always, make sure you love this live, but also as well, make sure you guys follow Jack and Glenn, August Love Story, and Talisa Ray, Stephanie Lee also as well. I know she's not here today, but also make sure you follow her as well. You know what, we still got a few weeks left of the show, so make sure you're tuning back every Sunday, and kick with us, man, because listen, I believe there's gonna be some more great stuff that are gonna come out, and as always, my co-hosts, they always come with some bangers of commentary, so I appreciate you guys for again accepting the honorable call and coming to give everybody some juicy commentary. We'll hopefully see you guys again next week, and get down and dirty once more again. You know what I'm saying? What she said. That's what they keep saying. I see the husbands keep saying what she said. You know what I'm saying? So Lisa, don't worry. We have the Holy Spirit. We gonna say what the Holy Spirit said. That's what we're gonna do. All right. But yes, audience, we'll see you soon. Make sure you like it before you leave, and we will see you again next week. Much love. Stay hydrated.